Now look at you walking in here looking all pretty and angry and mean and good. I know you didn't get your hair done so you could just sit down and just sit still.
Hey, we trying to have a good time tonight. Let's go, baby.
Okay, we'll go special edition 2-1. Yeah, 2-1, not 3-2-1.
Okay, let's go. Practice.
Welcome to Family Housemates
Season 1, Episode 6.
Special edition.
Table Talk.
Guys. Hey! What's poppin'? How you do, babies? How you do, babies? Let's spinorize the squad.
Yeah.
And number listeners.
Spinorizer.
We have our Vele, you know.
Guys, firstly, we'd like to thank Sia.
Yeah. Thank you to Lee.
Thank you to Lee. Shout out to you.
And who? Muhlali. Yeah, Ria and Ria.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
And I
thank
hope
you for the support.
enjoy.
Keep on watching more episodes.
Like, subscribe.
Yes.
Do the most.
Please.
Yes.
Guys. So
This episode is a critical one.
it is very
Episode
deep.
6. It's a special edition table talk.
Yeah.
Come on.
Table. Setting already.
Yeah.
So the white cloth.
We are discussing the
white
women issues.
Yes.
You know,
Xenophobic,
all the
attacks,
yeah.
the women abuse, child abuse, no gender-based violence. Yeah.
So yeah, this is a critical one, and
It's
yeah,
really,
people will
really
be saying their most honest opinions
Yeah.
about how they feel
How
about
they
this
feel
whole
about this whole
situation that's
situation.
happening.
Yes.
So we hope you guys actually enjoy this video and you learn.
And guys,
And if you want to say something, you can also comment.
like,
Yeah, bro.
whoa, a tip, guys. Can we please paint our country? Like, let's change our country, guys. Power,
Country.
please.
Pray.
Power to our country.
Power.
Yeah,
To our
bro.
country.
Yeah, bro.
Yes, and pray.
Love you guys.
Keep on watching Family House.
Comment.
Right.
Leave your comment.
Bring those videos back.
Leave your comment. Leave your comment.
Okay, guys. Anyways, let's get into this video. We hope you like it. Bye.
Episode 6.
Special edition.
Table Talk.
Okay, so
Season 1, Episode 6.
Table talk.
She is my mom. The person who gave birth to us.
Me.
I was about to say the same thing. Yeah. A female grown person.
Carrier of life? A woman is a carrier of life, yes. That's me.
A woman is a helper. A woman is a.
Our leaders to be.
Okay. Yeah.
A woman is someone who is deserving of human rights just as much as the male gender is deserving of human rights. So, yeah, it's your female counterpart as a male.
You can't define
I can't define a woman.
Yes, because
I'm on the
fact.
spot. Like, I can't define.
because a woman is many things.
Exactly. She can't be just kept in one box.
Yes.
You, my friend.
Many things. She
Many
can be a
things.
leader, a jack of all trades,
That.
a nurturer,
Yes.
a raiser,
Yes.
a teacher,
Fighter.
an advisor. So, I mean, when Adam was made, God looked at Adam and said, he cannot be alone. He needs a woman.
Exactly.
you don't have to be grown to be a woman.
Yes, you do. You have to be over 18 to be considered a woman. Otherwise, you're a minor and you're a girl. Teenage girl.
Well, I guess there are levels.
I guess, yeah. But I mean, but you're still classified as a woman.
Woman.
Well, you can go to a woman conference, you can go to all these women things, whatever age you are. But I mean, like, you know, compared to you and mom, who's a woman? Mom.
Both.
Both of us at this age.
Hello.
Both of us.
I feel like I'm a woman.
I feel that as long as you are ready to have a family or work, you're a woman.
So if you can like take the responsibilities, then
Yeah.
The government will tell you when you reach a certain age, you're a woman. You can decide at 16 you're a woman. So it's different.
yeah.
It's all about maturity.
It goes with maturity, but then again, the age thing as well matters.
Yeah.
Life.
That's a scene value.
Why are they taken away from them?
Yeah, man. Support is usually not sin. I think to me, support is usually because it comes from. Gents can support you, but if like a woman supports you, then there is like a lot to it. You get what I'm trying to say? There's a difference between your mom saying, "Yo, I got your back," and your dad saying, "I got your back." You see, when your mom says it, it comes with, I think, much more means. To me, that's my take on it.
Yeah, women's love is
I agree with what you're saying. Balance.
I think I agree balance, but as well as just an instinctive sense of wisdom.
Touch.
You know, as far as keeping things together, if men are left to themselves and to their own, we can relatively get along up until we start clashing with our egos. So what a woman adds is what we needed and what we didn't know that we needed. You know, for the mere fact that God created woman, from his observation to say it is not good for this creation of which I've made to be alone. Let me make him a friend. You know, so yeah, they add that balance. They add that intuitive wisdom, man. They're the flavor. They're the color. They are the very essence of the room. You know what I mean? That
When they
the
come
air
in-
just smells different and better.
There's just color in the room.
A woman's value is mostly recognized. What I've experienced is in the workplace, our nurture, our love, our organizational skills aren't usually recognized.
No, I think in most situations, you don't see what the value she's adding, and like until you lose her, until she's not there. Because women do so many things behind the scenes.
That is true.
Yes, women do a lot behind the scenes, but it is always overlooked until, like, let's say your mother's gone for a week, the house is falling apart,
Then
and we're
you
like,
can
wow,
feel
she
the-
done so many things that we didn't notice.
You know, women can be seen as an emotional and nurturing anchor in society because they give you that validation and surety when you confide in them with your emotions that no, you know, so and so is going to happen. In comparison to what a man would give you.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it.
No, that's. I can't reinforce it anymore than you
Yeah.
guys have actually reinforced it.
The problem with men is that, or let me say, the way men think, it's analytical.
Yeah.
It can lack emotion.
Yeah.
So, but we miss certain things. Some things get overlooked. You don't look. There's that finer detail that you don't see. Some of the things you don't think. How would someone take it? You know, did you think of their feelings? Did you think of how do they perceive things? And that's what women, they bring that kind of wisdom. When men start to clash, you need that woman to tell you no. But I think getting out of hand, it's your ego.
And a sense of sensitivity as well, you know, in a
Calmness,
very
yeah.
loving, necessary way. You know, they just they're everything.
Different.
So yes, we're considered as human
But
beings.
human treated as humans.
No, we are slightly suppressed. A lot, actually.
Yo, bro.
Actually, a lot.
Yeah,
It's a lot,
yes.
actually. So yeah, we are human beings. They are aware that we are there,
But
yeah,
they don't want to treat you like a
Treated very differently.
Not as much as they should be. I think it's obvious that there's some guys out there, if not most, that objectify women to a certain point. And even some women themselves objectify themselves. Not intentionally, but it happens. Like,
Yeah.
we see it in music videos and
Yes.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
And in certain forms of art, like in rap songs and stuff like that. So we objectify women, and yeah, even in everyday discussions we have as guys.
Definitely. That's about it.
Depends where you're looking from or how you were brought up. You're looking at people who were brought up, like in my instance, Mouse and Makai.
a woman doesn't have much of a say in what goes on. While you come to the city, it's now different. Now she almost has almost the same as you do. But now when you have that same mentality, as Makai will say, no, a woman's place is in the kitchen. She doesn't question what the man says. Whatever the man says is what goes. You now come to the city, that's where they're like, no, a woman has to now balance. That's where it all depends where you're coming from. So if you're coming in that perspective, obviously, no, including Makai and everything, a woman won't have any say what happens in the house. It's what the man goes. So it all depends where you're coming from.
I think I'd add to the question. I would say actually women are marginalized. I think they are overlooked when it comes to leadership, when it comes to solutions, when it comes to input. I mean, I work in an environment where I'm surrounded by about 4 women, and I look to them for advice and leadership. And I don't think people look at them and think that when it comes to coming up with a solution, and in a very legislative-driven environment and career path, they are able to take the legislation, take it apart, and show me exactly, tell me this is how we should go about it. Put it together. Yeah, so I think they are marginalized, and
so their voice needs to be heard more.
Definitely.
Yeah, women are objectified, man. We use them as a tool, as perhaps a driving force to achieve what we want, or to get certain pleasures, or to pleasure our senses in a way. And it's just not right, It's not right.
Yeah. Yeah, true. I think them being considered as not humans, it's not a full yes, although the element of being marginalized, and also in most cases it depends. The treatment of how society often treats women often is influenced by the background of that society. For example, like how TK explained it. But yeah, more than anything, it is a marginalized thing, and we have no idea what we could gain by just consulting women.
Yeah,
by
exactly.
merely just saying, what do you think? We could gain so much more. We could be so much further.
For the fact that she was wearing shorts.
Yeah. And because we are weaker than...
And because we are weaker, yes.
It's our fault.
It's always the woman's
Because we can't defend ourselves.
Yeah. Like, because every time, like,
Yeah.
let's look at the past week we've had in this country.
Yeah.
Why was, like, the victim blaming is crazy.
What is happening?
Yeah, like, victim blaming is crazy. When, like, it's always a matter of what were you wearing? And if
What
they can't
were you
use,
doing
if they
there?
can't use that, what were you wearing? Because
Why were
you were
you there at that time?
Because let's say you were dressed properly, then that is not even a thing anymore. Then like, okay, but we happy. Why were you alone?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why were you?
Were you-
those type of.
Yeah.
Yes.
You were asking for it. How could you go?
Yeah.
It's just like it's just a.
That women should be kept in line, and that men are actually supposed to be tasked with keeping them in line, like in a way where they're supposed to like assert their dominance over females and stuff like that, like in the way they speak to them and the way they treat them, and even physically, like if you feel like, okay, now she's going out of line, now
You have to use
you have
some
to be
sort of force.
I have to be physical with her to show that, okay, I'm the man and this is how I want things to be done,
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Patriarchy. Like situation where power and decisions are just left to men. You have
Exactly.
a unit of people that live together, but the sole decision of the what do they call it? It's like power is just handed to an individual who happens to be a man. That a patriarchal society, for me, ultimately that's the root cause of women being subjected to that kind of treatment and that kind of abuse.
Yeah.
And that patriarchy, unfortunately, then creates that ignorance.
Yeah.
And they don't. It's one of those things, you don't know what you don't know. And if you only would listen and open that opportunity to say, actually, no, let's step back, guys. And let's let the ladies lead. And yeah.
Especially with, as per our Christian faith, yes, men are, have a great responsibility to lead even women. However, it's meant to be from a teamwork perspective, from a partnership perspective. Ultimately, if became a friend of Adam, and it was their union that made things go well. That's what makes it work.
True.
That the cooperation. Yeah,
That's the word.
Perhaps even the myth that women are the emotional gender between the two. The myth that we as men are supposed to protect women. If it so happened in the first place that we didn't impose ourselves amongst women as a threat, there would be no need for us to protect them. Because we're practically protecting women from ourselves. So the moment we take ourselves away from women as a danger, there won't be any need to protect them.
Yeah. But also, I think if we are to understand that we are equal, right? That's key in terms of just really living life, because at the end of the day, if you think as a man you're more superior than somebody who's a woman, then you're practically taking away their right in a sense, right? So we need to understand that we are equal, well, of equal value. When God created us, God didn't create this one is in a female body and this one is in a male body. They should be treated lesser, or in a lesser manner rather.
And male dominance is, I don't think our country should be labeled as a male-dominant country. We should all have equal rights.
Yeah. To a certain extent, we can also say, right, and slightly going off the topic, women actually have more power than men. In terms of, if you were given the task of giving birth, you would probably quit halfway, right? The task of carrying a child for 9 months is a big task. Right, but a woman can handle that, right? So that's for me. That for me says that a woman should be valued more, to a certain extent.
I disagree on that point, right? But I agree the fact that it's a woman's world, yes. But there are certain tasks which women do, such as giving birth, which men cannot do, and there are certain tasks which men can do, which women cannot do. That is beyond our control as human beings. I feel like you can't objectify men to that or women to that, because it's just God's plan.
It is. But
we have the right to live, guys. We have a right to happiness. We have a right to love. We have a right to everything, just like everyone else. So yeah.
Okay.
This one.
Yes.
Pastors objectifying women, taking advantage of women.
Yes.
Yeah.
Omotoso.
Don't mention names.
It goes a long way with understanding the word of God and what the Bible has to say, because there are many verses in the Bible which certain individuals may find to be controversial because they do not understand the Bible, or they feel that they're being objectified by the Bible, such as people that are perhaps more on the atheist side than on the cultural side of life. They go out of their way to find verses that disregard the word of God, that devalue what the Bible is meant to say, due to a lack of understanding. So if we could understand the Bible better and what God has intended for us, not only as children of God, but as those that that preach the word of God, then that way the church wouldn't be failing. But as of right now, the church is failing. Priests are raping church members. So at this point it's a failure.
When you're looking at the church is not given almost like full power in every way you're looking at. Maybe when it comes in terms of reaching people, the church has also got limitations, because as much as there's the church, but now there's something called laws, and what those laws sometimes prevent is the church actually reaching those people, because you'd find where a person now has freedom or whatever to express how they feel. Now if the church comes in now and starts imposing themselves or starts telling them this is 1, 2, and 3, you're supposed to do it, to them it's almost like now they're violating what the expression is supposed to be.
Yeah, I actually think it's like that. I think church is missing right now. And I don't think it's on purpose. Same people, I think churches are hiding. I don't think it's like that anymore. Like you said, laws. I think it has changed. They don't ask us anymore like in newspapers. Unlike the olden days, you'd see whenever something happens, something big in the society happens, the first question is, where's the church? But now, it's just it's not there anymore. It's not given platform, and I think the churches that the churches that actually are up there, they're those churches that are only there for like for show. They don't do what they're supposed to be doing. Yeah, they don't do what they're supposed to be doing. It's just there. So. Yeah.
Are there separate rights for women?
Freedom to express yourself.
Because in my mind, you would have to create rights for women on the basis that their human rights themselves are skewed towards males, more of to women, or the rights that are supposed to be enjoyed by both. One party is being deprived thereof, you know. So,
but are they?
That's the thing. Are there rights for women?
No.
Yes, they are. Actually, there's. I mean, I don't know. In this country, I know there's the right to abort. That's been given to a woman. There is also the right. Well, I don't know if you could put it as a right, but when a woman after gives birth, there's maternity leave. And I think it's within the labor laws that they're allowed to take time off. In terms of what you call this BEE. There's also one for example. There's what the government has done is to skew or to look at companies favorably if you try and hire a black woman or even a white woman or a woman in a position of power over a male. But then so there are those, but they take a secondary. Isn't that a response to a patriarchal society that deprived women from participation in the first place? Yeah,
specifically now in the corporate world.
Yes.
So now we get into a point where we've had to make acts and secondary to sort of make up for the damage that's been done. You know? I mean, for example, with in labor laws, the whole thing with like maternity leave and all of that, those are inevitable. And another thing I was thinking the other day was, should we not, especially in the workplace, should we not show more consideration for a woman's period cycle? Because as gentlemen, we will never understand what it's like.
That is true.
You know, why not then show a bit more consideration? I'm not saying
now,
but you know what's the problem? You're gonna have people that have
it's a societal issue. Ultimately, it's a societal issue. But I feel like even in the workplace, we should take a stand.
I think like the other question was, does the society consider women as humans? And this question says, do you have rights for women? And he's first when he said his piece, the first thing he said was,
next question. Why do we celebrate Women's Day